Welcome back to the World Trade Webcast, your source for news, analysis, and information about doing business worldwide. I'm your host, Greg Sandler, president of ThinkGlobal.com, the B2B marketplace for global trade leads. This week on the World Trade Webcast, we're talking with the U.S. Commerce Department's Craig Allen about the upcoming Discover Global Markets Conference in New York, which will focus on business opportunities in Greater China. Craig is the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Asia at the International Trade Administration. Craig, welcome back.
Well, thank you, Greg.
So yesterday, we talked about the big picture in China. Let's continue our discussion today with a look at China's economic outlook, its latest five-year plan, and its overall policy environment.
Okay, terrific. China almost certainly will remain the fastest growing large economy in the world for many years. And there are a number of reasons for this. Firstly, 52% of the Chinese population now lives in cities. And this will almost certainly climb to between 70 and 80% of China's population over the next 20 years, forcing the Chinese to invest lots of money on infrastructure for an additional estimated 300 million new urban residents who have flooded into the cities from the countryside over a relatively short period of time. The second major reason why we're confident about rapid Chinese economic growth is that the Chinese government has embarked upon an aggressive series of economic reforms. Specifically, they aim to shift their economic growth model from a model reliant on net exports and fixed capital investment to domestic demand and growth of their service industries. This isn't an easy transition, but we should not underestimate the Chinese government nor their ability to obtain middle-class status. The third reason, middle-income status. The third reason why the Chinese economy is growing rapidly is that China has a large, rapidly growing middle class. And that middle class has rapidly expanding purchasing power. China's middle class wants exactly what any middle class wants: quality food, quality education, healthcare, services, fashion, education, and other middle-class consumer goods. And American companies are very good at offering exactly that type of product. Fourth, China is economically integrated regionally and internationally. It has a relatively open economy. And this is why trade in Greater China, which is an inexact term, but at least culturally would definitely include Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore, is growing so rapidly. The United States Department of Commerce has 6 offices in China proper, 1 in Hong Kong, 2 in Taiwan, and 1 in Singapore. And thus we're ready, willing, and able to help American companies, especially new-to-market companies, to take advantage of China's rapid economic growth in the near and medium term. Thank you.
It's very interesting. And Craig, maybe you could address just quickly for viewers that aren't that familiar with China, how the Chinese government's planned economy sort of reconciles with this market-oriented economy. And from what you're saying, it sounds like this next step in evolution in China is a continuation in the country's move toward a more market-oriented economy.
Well, Greg, I think that your observation is absolutely right. That the Chinese government and the Chinese Communist Party have decided that greater reliance on the market is the way to ensure future economic growth for China. And thus, for example, they've made it much easier for companies to register and to begin business. They've made it easier for investors to enter the Chinese market. And they're relying more on market mechanisms, and the most obvious example of that would be the price mechanism, freely floating prices. And thus, this trend is strengthening, and they realize that really greater reliance on the market is the only way that they are going to be able to maintain rapid economic growth that their economy and their people require in the immediate, near, and probably the longer term as well. We see also great changes in state-owned enterprises and in other elements of the Chinese socialist economy to adapt to modern market economic principles. And again, we make a mistake if we underestimate China, the Chinese government, or the Chinese people. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. And certainly there's huge opportunity here. And for those of you out there that feel like maybe you missed the first few waves of Chinese growth, there's another one coming. So get your business surfboards ready. And as Craig said, the Commerce Department has offices throughout Greater China. If you're interested in learning more about those offices, you can go on to the Export, export.gov website, and there's information, including contact information for all of those offices online. Please join us tomorrow as we continue our discussion with Craig about the U.S. government's China strategy and support that's available to help U.S. companies export to China. To learn more about opportunities in China, you might also consider attending the Greater China Business Forum, a two-day conference that will be held October 7th and 8th at the New York Athletic Club in New York City. And for more information about the Discover Global Markets Greater China Forum, visit the Discover website online. And for our latest schedule of upcoming episodes, subscribe to us with any of the links below and bookmark this page. All of our previous episodes can be found right here at thinkglobal.com/webcast. And thanks for watching.